So I want to jump right into things. I have a pretty loaded question set for you today. Really digging deep. So I'll give a run through of like kind of the subtopic or like the topics that we'll ask on. I have like 5 to 7 questions within each topic, and I know we'll like kind of spiral down on some of them.
Yeah.
So start things off. We'll start off easy with religion, and then we'll jump into politics, family and family roles, sex, dating, and porn.
Oh man, I'm gonna get canceled.
History, future, problems with society, financial literacy, when you were a kid, risk, dealing with hate, and then living off the grid to wrap everything up. So I want to preface this with go deep. Say it all. We can always cut it out later. Rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
I'm not worried about saying things. We know
So
this.
I'm going to start off with a little bit of a light question here. What are you most insecure about?
Man, it's not something I think about regularly. I gotta think. What am I most insecure about? That's probably easy. So like I told you and him on the last podcast, I have like no family. So I wouldn't say I'm like insecure about having no family right now, but that is a massive like driving force, which I think all driving forces come from a place of insecurity. Sounds because of what we've made it as culture is like, oh, my looks, or like insecurity can just be anything you're uncomfortable with mentally. So I think being alone and not alone in the sense of like, oh, I'm not like with chick every day, whatever. Like I like my peace, but like not having family is something that I don't want to happen. So it's a big driving force of everything going forward. So I'd say that.
Has your circle of friends helped with that at all?
Bro, 1,000,000%. Like they're not even friends. Like we're brothers, which is awesome. I didn't have that when I was in college. I had a couple boys, but then I quickly like grew out of them because of like I'm going different places. They got different interests, whatever. Then dropped out of school. Didn't really have anybody. Moved to Miami. Had a couple people. One of them, Garrett, moved. Garrett's one of my boys for sure. But then I had nobody again. And then I finally have this group of boys, and they're not going anywhere. So massively, massively helps. It's the most important part of – that was a huge realization last year of my happiness was like, man, why am I not happy? Like I got all this money, whatever. It's because I didn't have anybody to do shit with. Like there's nothing more fun than doing stuff with your boys, you know?
Yeah.
So 100%.
And how has like your, I guess, lack of family members, lack of family had an impact, one, on your business and I guess like you, and then the flip side of that, now that you have like your circle of guys, like how has that made an impact? Like how have the two kind of gone together?
I think there are positives still of that because I know some people's family hold them back a lot, you know?
For sure.
So I never had family that held me back in any sense. I also didn't have family that helped me. So I looked at that as a positive, as kind of like a net clean slate. So everything that is influence is only myself at that point. There's no influence on outside. And then having friends helps a ton. Like bro, my circle of friends, for everyone listening to this, they probably know. Mason, Ben, Sanjay, Danny. I'm not forgetting anybody, am I? I'm making sure. Because there's 5 of us. And everyone is different, like, and very talented at what they do.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to be massively successful. Like, it's weird to find a group of friends where everyone is on a similar level of trajectory. Even though we have different skill sets, we're on the same level of trajectory. Like, Ben is a very, very, very good marketer already. Mason is very, very good at copywriting, obviously, but something that people don't know about Mason, he's so good at articulating thoughts in a way that I am jealous of. Like, you've seen his TikToks?
Yeah, his TikToks
Bro,
are
dude
golden.
can pull out a phone and just spit and get 5 million views.
Yeah.
He articulates things so well. Sanjay, as stupid as Sanjay acts on our vlogs, he is probably the smartest out of all of us, hands down. He has the best ideas of anyone I've ever met. Like, if I have any problem in my business, he's so knowledgeable about everything. Mm-hmm. He'll be like, hey, like, why don't you do this? And me and Ben will look at each other and we're like, well, holy fuck, Sanjay's right. Like, that's the best thing I've ever heard. And he writes my YouTube scripts now. So like, and then Danny is Amazon, and then a few things that I'm not gonna talk about because I think he wants to keep those private. But he is crushing it as well. Like, we got a hell of a group, and that's so encouraging to be around when business is lonely, right?
For sure.
And I'm fine with being lonely, but when you have boys like that, and you can hold each other to that same level, that's priceless.
100%. Cool.
And for the record, I'm sick, and I might lose my voice. So if my voice cracks, I'm not 12 years old again to everybody listening.
Cool. So this is with this kind of podcast style. I think we just like call it a podcast. I feel like it's more of like an interview. I went through and really just went for the most controversial, polarizing, deep questions that I could get because I knew it'd keep it the most interesting. So yeah, if you're bored of a topic, just wait for the next one because I guarantee you it'll probably be interesting.
Yeah, and probably have tons of backlash in the TikTok. I can see it now already.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's how I was like, all right, when I come up with these questions, I want it to be so that people on TikTok are going to get upset.
Perfect.
So, cool. We'll start off with religion. And
that's a safe topic.
Yeah, super safe topic to start with. I did think this one through a little bit, so I didn't want to like get you in trouble like with the wrong types of people, but
that's fine. Honestly, I don't care.
Should be good. What do you personally believe in?
I believe in God. That's what I believe in. I believe in God. I believe that religion is a very, very good thing, but the distinction that I don't like I don't go to church, right? I think religion is, and it's not even I think, it's obvious, religion has been used to control people throughout history. Religion, when done properly, is the greatest idea anyone's ever had. Like, it's great. You live by a set of principles that are proven and tested, and the Bible is like, if everyone followed the Bible, we'd have zero problems. You can't say that about any other piece of literature than maybe like the Quran and other books, but they're like, in my head, they're all the same. I honestly believe, bro, I think Islam, Judaism, and Christianity are not as different as everyone makes them to be. I think it is like us three groups against everybody else. I don't think it's like, oh, Muslims and versus Christians and like that is so dumb because you look at like where the world's heading now with the anti everything and the LGBTQ this and all the bullshit, whatever. Like we all believe the same shit. Like, so I'd say I'm more Christian than anything. I went to church growing up. My mom obviously is very, very Christian. She reads the Bible every morning. She was raised super strictly Christian. Mm-hmm. But I always say this to people, I don't like religion, but I love God and I love principles of God and of these religions, if that makes sense.
For sure.
I don't like
I think
the man-made
with like,
religion.
Yeah, with a lot of religion comes a lot of legalism, and legalism can get pretty dangerous.
It's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. Because like even the Christians that are super strict, your whole book is based on love. Yeah. That's what Christianity is, right? It's love. And then you want to go like persecute, and I judge the fuck out of people. Like I act like I don't, but like you want to go persecute people for these different things, and then wonder why no one wants to push Christianity. I wonder why. Yeah. Like, unfortunately, like like you said, Christianity is like it's based on like unconditional love, a lot of it, and the salvation through what Christ did for us, and a lot of people are very hypocritical with it. I've definitely had my moments, but it is a very hypocritical religion. That's one thing that I do admire about, Islam and like their faith is they're a lot more disciplined in their religion. Agreed. That's like and I'm not going to sit here and like all these dudes that are hopping on a trend of like pushing Islam. I think there's a lot in Islam that gets also same thing, like pushed out of context. For sure. What was I going to say? But the biggest problem I have with like modern Christianity is just the men are so weak, bro. For sure. Old Christians they were knights, they were Templars. They used to run through a country, kill everybody that was standing against them, and they'd be like, okay, you guys need God, you guys need Christianity and Christ. The issue is now it's like they use their faith and everything as an excuse to not be excellent, and it's like, bro, like we're called to be excellent. Yeah. So I struggle with that same thing, especially as like an entrepreneur. It's like, man, like it's tough because I want to balance my time around like entrepreneurs, but a lot of the time entrepreneurs don't exactly have the headspace that lines up with like where I want my life to be with my faith. But then if I hang around just like straight Christian people, it's like they don't have the headspace of like a winner. They're weak, and I don't know where that comes from. Like, bro, Samson killed like, was it 100 men or was it an army with it was like 1,000 with a donkey head. Yeah, with a donkey jawbone. Like, and he was blind. Yeah, and there's all these other stories and whatever, and you want to wear skinny, like you're like, I went to this church in Chillicothe, Ohio, like a couple times, bro. I think they started doing like gay weddings and stuff, or officiating, or one of the pastors was like, listen, you want to be gay, I don't care, but if your book that you base your whole life and religion around says hey, don't be gay. This is why. And
Yeah.
you think we can just make the rules up.
Correct.
You're not your religion.
I think
you
and
don't follow it.
something with that, it's like you have to hate the sin, not the sinner. Like,
Yes.
and you can't just judge someone because they sin differently than you. It's like, obviously we all have shortcomings. No one's
Sin is
perfect.
sin.
And, like at the end of the day, like as upset as you want to get, like they just sin differently than we do.
Yeah.
So,
But that's where the I think people get confused is like, obviously sin is sin,
mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean, because I sinned and then you also sin, we can let it pass. No.
Correct. Yeah. It doesn't
The
cancel each other
principles
out.
stay. So like if it says no homophobia or whatever, I don't know how they say it in the Bible exactly. And then we want to say, sin's sin. No, like your principles are still your principles.
For
Just
sure.
because you fuck up, that's the basis of your whole religion is forgiveness. Like obviously,
Yeah.
I think Jesus was a real person. And I think anyone who says that he's not and is like, I believe in Islam. Your people think Jesus
Believe in
was a real
Jesus,
person.
yeah.
They just don't believe he was the same as
Savior,
like
they
the
believe he's
prophet.
a prophet,
right?
yeah.
So like, I don't know. I think Jesus was definitely a real person. I think a lot of his stories are real, and I don't. I think the way we've kept track of history, there might be a little bit of like an analogy perspective to the Bible, but that doesn't make it not real. You know what I mean? Like just because I can't see something with my eyes doesn't make it not real.
Exactly.
So
100%.
that's my thought process.
Cool. Well, there's about 1 of 40 questions. So we'll jump into.
I can already see the comments on TikTok. Luke hates gay people.
Yeah, literally. That's why I was like, I should probably clear this up a little bit. So, okay, you covered this a little bit, but like, what do you believe in personally? Like, is it more of a biblical God? Where do you stand on that?
I think so. Definitely God. Like I pray every day. I like Christian principles. I like principles of Islam. But like, I also think this whole energy thing that people talk about, like the spiritual girls are like, I'm spiritual. Like that energy, when it's not the like satanic demonic stuff, like that energy, like, I'm manifesting and like, I'm doing all this. That's literally what God is.
Yeah.
Like it's energy.
It's imagination, yeah.
Like God's not this old man with a beard in the sky, which is,
Mm-mm.
I don't know why people have this connotation. So like when I pray and I'm like putting good thought into the universe and doing the whole manifestation thing, where people have gotten kind of off track, I think, into like more demonic stuff. That's God. It's all God. It's all the same thing in my eyes. So
Yeah.
that's what I believe in.
And like in reality, like spirituality is, there's two sides to it. There's like demonic side and there's like, angelic, like,
Yep.
God, and there's like good and there's evil. So it's like,
And
if
you
just 'cause
believe
you're
the good is real,
spiritual-
the evil is 100% real. And if you believe
Exactly.
the evil is real, the good has to be real, because like as above, so below. Everything in earth has opposites, like from physics to math to
Exactly.
to like light and dark. Like everything is balanced. So if one's real, the other's real. So you need to pay attention.
And there's definitely a huge spiritual side that, like, when people say they're spiritual, it's like you got to tread lightly. You got to be careful because it's
Yeah.
like, okay, like how are you spiritual?
Yeah, like you playing
Ouija
with
board or,
crystals
like-
and tarot cards
Yeah.
is not godlike.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I said this wrong. I said, so like, what do you believe in? But why do you believe in it?
Why?
Like, what's your why?
I mean, I have my whole life. I mean, I'm a living testament to like how real that is. Like I thought my way to where I'm at. Like obviously I had to work and everything, but I thought my way to where I'm at. I
Logic and reasoning.
Do what?
Like logic and reasoning, you'd say?
No, like manifesting, like praying. Like I thought everything to existence. Everything I ever or that I have now, I 100% have already either, and I can show you journals where I've literally drawn my mom's house, her exact house that she has right now.
Yeah.
But her exact house, when I did that podcast with David, I pulled out the journal. I literally drew it in like 2016.
Wow.
Same house.
Yeah.
And it has those little things like, the design on the corner of the houses. It's like a block that's dark on like
Yeah.
a white house. I don't know what it's called. We don't have those in Ohio. And I drew it on the house for some reason. And now that's her exact house.
That's
Like I can show you a picture. You'd be like, whoa.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, that's why I believe. Because I vividly remember this, bro. I was listening to Drowning by Kodak and A Boogie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm laying in bed. So it's probably 2018 because I was 18. It was either junior or senior year, 17 or 18. And it's like 2 a.m. and I'm laying in bed. And I think I was just like crying. And I was like, just upset. And I don't remember. I think it was after I crashed my car and I got cheated on senior year. And I swear, bro, I'm praying and I'm like envisioning all of it because I was reading Think and Grow Rich for the first time and all this. And I was praying and I was like, God, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I want, not like for the material, but I want nice cars. I want to be able to travel. I want to retire my mom. I don't want to be poor. I want to live in abundance. I want to help people. And I basically was just praying and thinking about it and like I said, thinking it into existence. And I literally felt like, I know it sounds so like weird to say, I literally felt like a switch flip in my head and nothing has been the same since that day. That's swear. So cool. I was super deep. Like you ever meditated super deep to where you're like just in like this weird state of like, it feels weird. Like you're in and out of like sitting here or are you in here? And I was like that. It took me like a couple hours, but I remember that song came on and it just flipped and nothing's been the same. So why do I believe? Because I've seen it and I feel it. And I'll literally like not hear in a sense of like audible, but I'll hear God speak to me and tell me things. So I know it's real.
That's awesome. What do you think about atheism?
Very misguided people. Very misguided people. I think to be atheist is to, one, be unintelligent. Not in like I'm being rude way, but in a like, okay, cool, you want to say science is, which is usually their argument, which is science. If you ask any I can't say the word, physicist, or quantum physics, they will tell you, like if they're not lying to themselves, they will tell you the further you go down in science, you get to one question, which is the fundamental base of every question in science, which is, well, we don't know why this happened. Can't explain it.
Yeah.
Big Bang, cool. Okay, you realize, like I've even seen mathematical and like actual science-based stuff. The Bible says the earth was created in technically 6 days and God rested on the seventh, right?
Correct.
And then days in God's time don't mean days in our time. Like I've seen a lot of stuff like that in the Bible, and then I saw some physicists talking about it. That Big Bang could very well have happened.
I mean, when God's speaking something into existence,
it's probably going to be like some crazy like fusion particles and all that stuff, right? So why can't you have both is my question. Yeah. I think that's very naive to be like, oh, well, science says this. Okay, prove it. Oh, I can't. And then, but on the other side of that, it's like, oh, well, prove your God's real. Well, I can't. It's the same thing.
But it takes more faith to be an atheist than it does to be like a
which is
Christian.
Absurd, because if you're right, cool. You're right. Your life ends, whatever. If I'm right, I'm going to live forever. I go to heaven, whatever.
And if you're right, your life has no purpose.
But if you're wrong, you're fucked. Yeah. So literally. I think it's very naive.
100%. This kind of like just goes off of, God speaking the earth into existence. Do you believe in like an old earth or a young earth?
Oh, you mean like that we're actually way older than people say we are?
Yeah.
I 1,000,000% believe we are way older than people say we are. 1,000,000%. Graham Hancock?
I've heard of him, yeah.
So I've listened to a lot of his stuff, and I read one of his books, and when we drove to Tampa, we listened to like 5 hours of his podcast. I think that we have been around way, way, way longer than people say. I think the whole theory of evolution is complete bullshit. Like, I will vehemently back that. Like, I believe with everything. I think evolution is the biggest bunch of fakeness I have ever heard of in my life. And I think all of that, even what we're taught in school, theory of evolution, like, who's Darwin? Why are we going to believe this Darwin guy, okay? Yeah. He didn't prove anything. Just because there are secluded animals on the Galapagos, you want to believe that evolution's real? No. Yeah. Adaptation is real. There are human beings, and so I spearfish, right? There are human beings in these islands. I think it's off of Indonesia or the Philippines. They can literally hold their breath underwater for like 8 minutes, and their spleens are either smaller or larger than ours, so we can handle more carbon dioxide, and they can like see underwater and salt water, and it doesn't burn their eyes. Because they've been fishing underwater and they don't live on land, they live on water for thousands of years. They didn't evolve. They're human beings. If we grabbed one of them, threw them into Brickell for like a year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, then they have kids. The kids are going to be more like us than them.
Yeah.
That's called adaptation, not evolution. I did not come from a monkey. Like, I argued with these dudes on Twitter the other day. They're like, oh, you're an idiot. I didn't come from a monkey. Maybe you did. I didn't come from a monkey. Like, have you seen the South Park episode on evolution?
No,
Mr. Or not Mr. The one that thinks he's a girl. Mr. Garrison. I can't remember his name. I love South Park. He's teaching evolution in one episode. He's like, okay, kids, I got to teach you the theory of evolution. He's like, so this retard fish climbed up on water one day and became a retard frog. And then this retard frog became a retard monkey. This retard monkey had sex with another retard monkey, and that made you, because he didn't believe in it. And he had to like teach it because that's what school had to teach us, right? So I think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure.
I think we are created in the image of God. I think also that God and our like connotation of aliens is a lot more closely related than people want to make it out to be.
I think aliens are very spiritual as far as like
bro, Egypt is the most proof you need. Like, look at Egypt.
Yeah.
Look at what Egypt used to be. There are pyramids not only in Egypt. People don't know this. There's the same pyramids in China, but we can't get there because it's Chinese. The same pyramids in South America and the Amazon. Like, there's crazy stuff, and it's not like God, science, aliens, this stuff. No, it's all the same stuff.
Yeah.
Like, usually the truth is more closely related in the middle than it is from every other branch. So that's
100%.
what I believe.
100%. No, I like that a lot. How do you plan to grow in your religion or in your faith?
I mean, just trying to do the right thing, I think, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not like a church going like Christian, whatever. So I don't think I need to do that stuff, but like I need to do good. There's basic principles of life, right? Do good, help others, provide for others. Like, I think that's honestly like love your neighbor. Like, those are the tenets of life. So I'm just going to continue to do that. The more money I make, the more I can help people. Like this winter, I didn't tweet about it because I'm not doing it for clout. I did a lot of really, really cool charitable stuff. There was a couple families here in Miami that I knew they needed some help, like car problems. Kids didn't have money for Christmas, didn't have money for school, whatever. So took care of them. So the more money I make, the more I can do. So I want to be that person. I want to be a big sort of philanthropist one day.
That's awesome. What role does religion have in your purpose?
I mean, it's entwined into everything. You know what I mean? So, and I still wouldn't even call it religion because then it sounds like in my head, the church kind
legalism,
of thing. Yeah. So I would say God, but I am here because of God. Like, everything that I have is because you can call it destiny, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but I believe I'm here because of God. So every day I'm thankful. I pray to God, and I'm very grateful for that. So as I continue going forward, every single day is another chance, you know?
For sure.
Eventually I'm going to run out of chances. And then I'm like, okay, well, did I live a good life? You know? So that's what I see.
Cool. All right. Last one in the category of religion. What do you think is the biggest problem with people that believe in the same thing you do?
Like the exact same way that I believe in it?
Yeah, or similar.
I live a little bit more hedonistic than probably the church going Christian weak guy. I'm not saying you're weak. I know you're a church going Christian guy. So, but my connotation is like the generalization of those people.
For sure.
Which is the like, okay, you take your average church boy and like you put him in a fight with me or something, like he's going to die. Not that I'm like some big tough guy, but just because they're weak, they're soft, they're very, very like whatever. So although they are that, they're usually a bit more strict on their stuff and scared of like venturing into like more dark things. I come from the darkness, bro. So like I live a little bit more hedonistically, but like it's not, I will never get wrapped up in it, I don't think, because I'm from it. So like it's not like I moved to Miami and I get worried about, the parties are going to suck me in and the girls and it's going to ruin me. Not really worried. I live a little bit more on that edge than some people do.
For sure.
So maybe that's the bad thing. But I think to really, really similar to the leader question on the other day, to really be any sort of religious sort of leader or guide, you've got to have seen the dark stuff. Like Phil Robertson from Duck Dynasty. He's basically the founder of it, right?
Gotcha.
So he's a really good Christian guy. I've been watching him preach on TV lately. He was a drunk and a drug addict and was like all this awful stuff up until he was 28. And then one day this Christian walks into a bar in like South Louisiana and was like, hey, like you need to get your shit together basically. And they talked him into it. And that day he was like, okay, like I'm going to let God into my life. I've been living for the devil for 28 years. I'm going to go this route and see. And he was given this sermon at this huge like mega church. I was listening to it. And he was just basically saying like, oh, well, these last 48 years have been way better than the first 28. But he is looked up to in a manner that the other people are not. And why is that? It's because he lived in that darkness for a while, you know?
For sure.
It's the same as like going through hardship as a person.
I think it comes down to like testimony. Like,
yeah, like you are living proof that you did it.
Exactly.
It's one thing for someone to be like, oh, I'm such a good church person. This is what I don't like. This reminded me. I don't like the church people. I had a lot of this growing up, right? I was like the poor kid. Obviously, there's kids poorer than me, but like whatever. The rich, there's just like one character in my head. There's just the girls that grew up in really nice families and they're rich and they never, ever, ever have had to struggle in their life ever.
Yeah.
And then they're looking down at these poor kids who are like living a bit more sinfully than they are, and they're like talking trash about them, whatever. I'm more impressed by the poor kid who has gone through that stuff and still lives well than I am by you who has never been tempted or struggled in your life, because you don't know what it's like. You're sheltered. Like you have no idea. And it's not that girl, that's just the image I get in my head. But like, you're right. It's testimony, because if you've gone through it and you come out on the other side and you're like, oh, well, I mean, it's not very good to be living in that life. You know, I did it for 20 years. So it's a lot better than
from something, more drastic.
Yeah. It's a lot better than someone who's never done it and is trying to teach or preach something that they've never seen,
100%.
So that's 100%. Very deep, but yeah.
All right, cool. Next category, we got politics.
Oh boy.
This one should be good. What do you think the role of government should be in our society?
Oh man. Well, now we can't go back. Like in a large, like, okay, let's say we had 50,000 people in the United States. We could go back to how it was before. Like the Independence Days kind of thing, right? We could. But with as many people as we have, and as dumb as people are, we are very dependent on the government. Like if the government gave us free reign, all hell would break loose, bro. Like it would be a disaster. I'm very anti-government, but like I'm also not an idiot. It would be terrible.
For sure.
So what's the solution? And what should the government's role be? I think we're fucked either way, bro. I think there's not a solution. I think it's too far gone. And there's too much corruption. I just saw, like earlier before you came over, this congressman who has like a TikTok. He like is very transparent about things and makes TikTok videos. He was saying that even if we cut the defense budget to zero, you realize we have 6 months. No one knows this. I didn't even hear about this till today. We have 6 months left on our debt ceiling before we default on all the loans that we owe to all these other countries.
That's perfect.
Default. But you know what they're going to do? They're just going to raise the debt ceiling again.
Yeah.
Then they're just going to print more money. And then this game of musical chairs just goes forever. I don't know who's going to stop it, because there's always going to be elites. The power is just going to be handed down. So I don't know who's going to stop it. So I don't know how that goes. But ideally, the role of government is for the people, by the people. Is it? No. Not at all. Like, it's the biggest lie and you've ever been told,
Yeah.
So it's not what it should be. I mean, that's what it should be. I'm sure you got a follow-up question that'll make sense off that before I ramble.
Not so much. It's like it's a little different avenue, like similar. So yeah, I guess we'll keep rambling on that. What do you think is like? You said we're screwed either way based on like if the government tries to improve or gets worse. Like in an ideal state, obviously for the people, by the people, what do you think the government should be in control of and not be in control of?
I think we should be as free as we can, which I know now you can't really, I think right now with Biden in office, they're too controlling. When Trump was in office, we're a little bit less controlling, and they have an emphasis on trade, economics, the economy. Because if you put money in people's pockets and the economy is good, they can sort of fend for themselves. But when you got Biden bucks coming in and this C-19 shit and whatever, that's the opposite of what the government's doing. So they shouldn't have control over whether I stay home or not. Like that was, I knew, bro, as soon as that happened and no one fought back, I'm like, good game. It's over. We're done. Yeah. It is so over. No one's going to revolt. Even all these country guys that are talking, oh, what will revolt? No, you won't. Because we could. We really could. We could completely overthrow the government.
100%.
Because they can't nuke themselves. We could definitely overthrow them. Will we? No, because we're too divided. And that's why they play these games and all. That's a whole other topic.
It's marketing. Yeah.
Because they know they're outnumbered like 1,000,000 to 1, I think. Like the actual government compared to us. And then you think the military is going to stand by if we start to like rebel because they do some unjust stuff? Hell no. The military is us. So we could, but it's not going to happen. So we're fucked. I don't think there's a winning solution.
For sure. I agree.
That's why it's just power to yourself. Get your own power, get your own wealth, live above the government, and you're good.
Get outside of it as much as you can.
Yeah.
Healthcare as a right or as a luxury?
That one's hard. I used to think luxury, but then I've like been an adult and seen things, and I think it should be a right, but only because we're taxed on everything for a reason. But what does our tax money go to? It's not transparent at all. You know, they say it goes to this, but then we're giving hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine. But then like when I was on welfare, like we couldn't afford shoes for school. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make sense. Or we got like homeless, like it's not, we're taxed. I thought about this for the first time this week, and I don't know if you've ever thought about this. I'm gonna blow your mind. Dollar bill, okay? That dollar bill got put into circulation. I don't know where they put them into circulation at, like what point of commerce, but it's in circulation. So let's say you have that dollar. You give me the dollar. Let's say you just got it somehow, like you sold something, obviously. You got taxed on that.
Yeah.
So that dollar, this is where inflation comes in, and I did not even understand this till this week. That dollar you give to me for like a service or a product, you're taxed on that, I'm taxed on that, okay? I say take that dollar, I go buy a haircut, right? Or a haircut's not a good example because you got the cash. I go buy a product, I'm taxed on buying that product. I pay sales tax. Mm-hmm. Then the vendor of that store is taxed on his own sales tax. And it is a perpetual cycle. And then if I want to buy a property, I have income tax, or I have income tax, then I have property tax, then I have everything.
Yeah.
What's that money used for?
Yeah. It's nonstop tax.
It's not the roads because the roads suck.
Yeah.
It's not the welfare because I was on welfare. It's non-existent. It's not to help the poor because I'm from the poorest county in Ohio. They didn't give a fuck about us. Look at East Palestine. They haven't even sent people there. Like nothing. So yeah, I think it would be nice if we had universal health care, at least at a bare minimum to keep you alive and you can still be healthy. But if that's what they cared about, we wouldn't have the foods we have, and the FDA wouldn't allow the food coloring and the chemicals that they allow, you know? So like you ask these questions and you can answer them, but at a certain point it all goes back to the same answer, which is like they don't care. Like they don't care. Like
well,
there's nothing.
I think it's further than they don't care. It's that it's so much more about power and control and money.
It is. It is 100%. If you're weak, fat, poor, uneducated, and you have no guns, which is the next step, can you do anything? No, you can't. You're stuck forever.
Yeah.
And if we are the biggest economy and the biggest military and the biggest GDP in the world, and they can get us, bro, everywhere else is fucked. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, China controls their people even more than us.
Way more. Yeah.
We're headed towards to be like China. Russia doesn't really control their people as much, but they still do at the same time because it's like Russia against everybody. Europe is like the most liberal place ever. That's basically California worse. So like, sure. I don't know. I don't want to be a doomer, but it doesn't look too good.
For sure. Yeah. As long as we have guns, we'll
be fine.
It'll be all right.
As soon as they get guns, we're fucked.
Yeah.
We're so fucked.
Yeah. Then they can do literally whatever they want.
Yeah. Because you can't fight back at that point.
Correct.
Right now, there are more guns in the U.S. than there are soldiers in the military.
Yeah.
Held by civilians.
That's good.
So
the only thing is, because like I've thought about this too. It's like, okay, yeah, like if they took away all of our guns, like yeah, it'd be a problem. But it's like realistically, right now they have the power to release anything they want, market anything they want. So it's like, you know, at the end of the day, we're still kind of screwed regardless. If they want the game to be over, the game will be over.
Yeah,
like, it just
but they
doesn't
don't want
matter.
the game to be over. It's not their task to kill us, or else we'd all be dead. It's their
Yeah.
task to control us.
Correct.
So they're not going to kill us. They're not going to drop chemicals on us, but they're going to slowly do it to where
Correct.
we're weakened and we're dependent on them for food, for currency, for protection, for shelter, for everything.
Correct. Like a child, basically.
Yeah.
Cool. Immigration and its impact on society.
I think immigration is not a bad thing, but I saw Presley's head perk up. So immigration itself is not a bad thing. Like my mentor, dude's like a dad to me, is Cuban. Pretty sure he came here not the right way, like in like before the 80s, like 70s, whatever, right? I know a lot of people that are immigrants and they're awesome, but on the same side, you have to control it, which is the problem. Open border, dumbest idea I've ever heard of, ever. Okay, the only reason that liberals want that is because who do you think votes for them? Even
people that are let in
Trump
without-
won the Latino vote, okay? Because they started to realize, oh, like these guys are fucking lying to us. They hate us. They just want us to pour into the country because they know we'll vote for them. And like they want to let illegals vote? Like that's stupid. Like it's so stupid. So immigration, not bad if it's done the right way. Which is like the European countries do that decently. Some of them, like London, became a shithole because of no immigration control. You know, you can't just have people pouring in. It's like a house. You got to think of your country like a house. I don't want anyone coming into my house.
For sure.
I want to know who it is, what they're doing. I want to keep eyes on them. So if you do it the right way, it's great. But that way, definitely not.
Yeah, for sure. The effectiveness of democracy.
Actual democracy, effective. What we have, no, we don't have democracy. People don't understand. We don't have democracy. We're controlled by a couple big conglomerates and old money families and banks. And it branches back hundreds of even thousands of years. We don't have democracy. It's the biggest illusion, the illusion of choice. We have the illusion of choice. Hey, you guys can vote. Like go out and vote. Make sure you go vote. You think our votes count? You think like they actually count your little paper ballots in every single voting station and county, and they somehow get it all in a night? You ever thought about that? Like the actual logistics?
Yeah.
No way. It doesn't count. Like your vote doesn't matter. Trump did not lose that election. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because he did whether you liked him or not, he did such a good job while in office that the people who voted for him the first time, all they had to do was vote again and they win. So how did that happen? There wasn't a large enough number of them that just changed their vote because, I don't like Trump now. That's not a possibility. So where does that extra vote come from? Mm-hmm. Well, probably because when they shut down the places the night of the election night, you remember?
Yep.
And I think it was Alabama or Georgia and Arizona, a few other places. Oh, wait, we got to stop it. And then there's people that literally saw fake trucks come in, like whatever. Like, we're not going to talk about this.
Yeah.
I don't vote. You know why? It doesn't matter. People are like, oh, go vote. No,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I've never voted.
It doesn't matter. If I vote, my vote doesn't count for anything. Your vote doesn't count. The only thing that counts is this. This is all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
we don't have democracy.
The people that control
Yep.
who gets in office, whoever they want the puppet to be.
Which is why you need to become, not necessarily that, because that's evil, but you got to get your own power. You got to get your own wealth. That's why I always go back to that.
100%. Social security and entitlements.
Social security, as in like the actual like government social security.
Correct. Like
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even know what the fuck that is or how it works. Like what actually is social security?
Like Social Security, it's basically another little messed up system that we got.
Oh wait,
going on
I know
here.
what it is. The Federal Reserve basically put a cattle brand on you as a tax ID.
Yeah, like you, as an employee, you have to pay your income tax, your Social Security, and you have to pay Medicare. So, Social Security is like basically, I think all the boomers are on, like, I don't know if they're all on it, but it's like something that you like supposed to pay into for your whole life, and then you get like a certain amount back, like, when you retire. So if you make poor life decisions, then at least you have something at the end.
I mean, I guess that's good for normies, but like See, I didn't know what it was because I've never had a job like that.
But the issue is with it now, it's like the people that are paying into it now are the ones that are funding the people that are, getting their returns.
Because imagine that money's not going to what it's supposed to be going towards, just
Exactly.
like taxes. Yeah. So bullshit. And what was the other one?
Entitlement in general.
Oh, of people?
Yeah.
Oh, it's stupid. like if you're entitled, you're never going to be successful. Like, I see it, and entitlement's a broad word. I see it a lot in kids that will DM me. Like they feel like they're entitled to my help or something, or my time, especially. And those people are never successful. The most successful people are the ones that come to you humbly, and anything. They're humble, and they're saying that nothing is owed to them. They have to earn it. So entitlement is complete bullshit as well.
For sure. Minimum wage, do you think it should be raised or lowered? And why?
Well, I mean, a while ago I would have said just keep it what it's at. Don't raise it or lower it. But now it has to be up because of inflation. Like to even match, if you had $8 minimum, which was what Ohio was, I remember when I was a kid, it was like $8.75 an hour, which is crazy. Imagine you work 10 hours and you make like $98. That's nuts,
ridiculous,
bro.
yeah.
I spend $98 on breakfast every day. Like that's crazy. But like now with the inflation, they tripled the money supply. So even if you're just going off of that, which probably is higher, your $8 has to be multiplied by 3 to even be the same. It's 21, right? It's got to be
24.
See, I'm bad at math. I'm really bad at math. So it's got to be $24 to give you the same buying power that you used to have. So
the problem though is if you raise it to $24 and everything else goes up, and it's just a perpetual cycle of
it's a perpetual cycle
inflation. So
which goes back to the root cause. It's the government. They made bad
Yeah.
choices, and you're paying for it. So
yeah,
my advice is just don't work a minimum wage job.
correct. That would be like, it's a little bit harsh, but I think that minimum wage should be lowered, and that you should not have a minimum wage job. Like get it something else that pays more than minimum wage.
You know, bro, the brutal truth of it is, because I've thought a lot about this, in any society, there's always going to be workers, and there's going to be people like us. And I'm not saying they're less than us, but you have to have those people.
The mindset's different.
Bro, you have to have them. If we didn't have those people, bro, you don't got McDonald's. You don't got anything, any government job, any public, any sort of role.
Yeah.
None of that. It's all gone. So if everyone was like us, none of the essential stuff would get done. So I used to be like, oh, well, don't do that. Don't do that. That's dumb. And now I'm just like, okay, I understand that not everyone's the same.
It needs to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it has to be done. What are your thoughts on universal basic income?
That one I don't like because I know what's going to happen if they do that. This is what people don't understand is the money has to come from somewhere. So people are like, oh, let's do this. We need universal basic income. Everyone needs a livable wage to survive. Okay, where's money come from? Well, I don't know the government. Okay, where's the government get the money? It comes from you, dummy. Like you're paying for it.
Yeah.
So your goods are going to get more expensive. Your inflation is going to go up. Your money supply is going to go up. And your taxes are going to go up. So if they give you universal basic income, it's the same as your stimulus check. Where'd it come from? It's not out of their pocket. It's just poof. This has value. Here you go.
Exactly.
Which leads to all the other problems.
Exactly. And it's like, even if they did like a universal basic income of $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, whatever it is, it's like, well, now, like you said, like just inflation's going to go up. People are going to get more lazy. So like, $4,000 might just feel like $1,000 or like $500. So
yep, you're better off not having it and it making you requiring you to go learn how to actually produce income for yourself.
100%. That wraps up the politics category. What family values and morals will you have for your household?
My wife raises my kids. I provide for my wife and my kids. And I mean, that's about it. I lead them. She nurtures them. Like, I think it's as simple as it is. Like, everyone overcomplicates this shit. It's pretty easy, bro. Like, you just, like, the reason I am the way I am is because of my mom. Like, she made me read so many books when I was a kid. Like, I was in 3rd grade reading. We had this, like, I don't know if you guys had this. It's like AR, Advanced Reading Club or whatever. So like a book would be rated on like grade level. Mm-hmm. So I was in 3rd grade or 2nd grade reading 12th grade books, like advanced shit. Like I don't even remember names of these. So like I could always read really, really, really well and articulate things because of that. And it's because of her. Like if I didn't have her, I probably would not be as smart as I am, you know?
Yeah.
So it's very, very valuable. But I'm sure there's a lot of that I could have had a lot faster of a learning curve if I had a father also teaching me things, which I didn't, you know. So
for sure,
I will lead my family. That's my job as a man. I'll provide for my family. My wife will nurture my family and raise my kids.
Cool.
Simple.
This one kind of plays into it as well. The role of parents in a child's education.
You should be educated more by them than school. 100%, which I was. My mom taught me a lot of stuff. She's basically a teacher at home. I think that's where a lot of like modern parents mess up is that, oh, let's just send the kids to school. Okay, what are your kids learning? I didn't learn shit in high school. I don't know about you, but like I didn't learn anything.
I mean, I learned some stuff because I was homeschooled.
Okay, so you're good. But like I think that role should be it's the same as teaching your kid how to like tie their shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know like for myself, I'll never let my kids go to school. Like I don't believe in anything that goes on in the school system.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
I played sports. I think that could be good. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, like what will they do for their social life? You know, and like obviously like my kids are not going to learn how to be an employee either. And it's like, where are they going to learn their work ethic? Well, they're going to learn to serve in the church, and they're going to learn to serve in excellence. And that's going to be where they get their work ethic from. Mm-hmm. And then when it comes to like learning and education, they're going to be homeschooled. I
like that. I'll probably homeschool my kids too. Because by the time we have kids, it's going to be nuts, bro. It's already nuts.
Yeah.
It's going to be Looney Tunes.
Do you like, for me, like, I feel like, you know, with my dad, you know, I fortunately have like a great mom and dad, but my dad was like working like all the time when I was young. So like he wasn't like super in my life and wasn't necessarily there in ways that I wish he could have been. So I think that really inspired me to want to crush it when I'm young and make the sacrifices when I'm young. So when I do have a family, when I do have kids, I can have all the time that I want in the world.
That's big. And we will. Kids. Like we will 100%, like at the age we were at already. I envision like if like sons, for example, like if I have sons, I envision them traveling with me and like we're doing really big stuff. And the first skills they learn, aside from survival stuff and like farming and outdoor stuff, because they're going to be raised outside.
For sure.
Like the first actual skills, you're going to learn copywriting. You're going to learn sales. You're going to learn psychology.
My kids are going to learn how to trade.
Yeah, like you're going to learn real
That'll
real
be the video
skills.
Game they play.
And instead of you learning bullshit in a book, like mitochondria this, mitochondria whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be traveling with me, learning like real stuff, and then seeing me apply it in real life and be like, oh, wow. Like daddy just made $1 million doing this. Like maybe I should learn this, you know?
Exactly.
So that's what I picture.
No, 100%. And yeah, I think it's just like I learned there's a lot in school, even like being homeschooled, that I learned that I was like, was really the point of this. Like it's good to have a general education on things, you know, very important. You want to be literate in, you know, a lot of things. But it's like they, you know, in the school system, they have you learn so much about something that just doesn't matter at all. Like
so much, bro. I wasted
like
years.
Why
of
are you
life.
learning trigonometry? Honestly, like what are you gonna use it for?
Bro, I can't even do like I failed every math class.
Like okay,
I'm
gonna use it. I'm gonna pick on you a little bit as an example. Like you know, you're like 3 times 8. That's like 21. Dude's like
I'm stupid.
You're
That's
worth,
actually
like
7 times 3.
Yeah, but you like it just goes to show it's like. It doesn't really matter. Like you can pull out your phone and use your calculator. Like why would you learn a skill that, you know, can so easily be replaced by the tool in your pocket? Yeah. Like, oh, what if your battery dies? Okay, you pull out a sheet of paper. Like, you know, at the end of the day, does it really matter? Like, okay, you know, like you're in a position now. It's like, oh, like what if you can't figure out the tip? Okay, well, like what if you just double the tip? Like you double the bill. Like you're fine. Like wouldn't
I mean, I think I should be smart enough to do 8 times 3. But like
at the end of the day, like it doesn't really make an impact.
Yeah, the
on
other
things.
stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah, like why are you learning trigonometry? Why are you learning calculus? Like unless you're going into that role, it's like I started learning algebra and I just started like cheating my way through it.
Sanjay gave me a problem the other day on the board and I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah,
like a basic algebra problem.
Like honestly, like I enjoyed algebra, but I quickly learned in algebra 2. I was like, this is pointless. I'm never going to use this in my life ever.
Never.
Again.
I've never once had a business problem in real life where I was like, algebra would come in handy.
Exactly.
Right now.
I think like Pythagorean theorem like a couple times, but like that's it. And it's like even then it's like I'm using my phone to assist me so that I don't have to do it all on paper.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I agree. I think you should learn how to think, which is what we miss. You should learn how to think, not store random information in your brain.
Yeah, that's what
learning how to think is important.
That's what my parents did, or at least my mom, because she was mainly the one that like taught me homeschool and everything. Is like she taught me how to think and how to go figure stuff out. Like, you know, I think the biggest thing is like I'm sure you have it like in your DMs all the time. You have people just ask stupid questions, like literally the dumbest thing. It's like, dude, can you just go use Google?
Go figure it out.
And you know that's what I was taught. It's like, you know, if there's a simple question, go figure it out. Like, stop being an idiot.
I agree.
Go use Google, use your brain, use common sense, and make it happen.
I agree 100%. Like, it's pointless. But yeah, I'm with you
for sure. All right, we'll keep moving along here. Gender roles in the home.
Do what you're good at.
I would say, like, for you, what do you view as like top 5 to 10 responsibilities that the male should have and that the female should have? Because I know that, especially in the world we live in right now, it's I know your view and my view are very different from what the world sees.
Dumb, bro.
Is
like, literally do what you're good at. Okay, would I be good at chopping firewood and moving firewood into my house? Yeah. Would my wife? Probably not. Okay.
Nor would I want my wife to be good at that.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm not in the boat of like, oh, I want my wife to be stupid and do this. Like, no. Like, I want you to be very intelligent and be able to do things, but also be intelligent enough to know what is worth your time and what you should be doing. Yeah. So, like, can I be empathetic and raise kids the same way you could? Fuck no. Do I want to cook the same? I can cook really good, but do I want to cook every day just to like actually eat food? No, I want to focus on building and making money and providing, you know?
Exactly.
Are you going to sweep our house when we think there's an intruder with an AR the same way I could? No, there's no shot. Some girls can, and that's fine, but like majority, no. Like I'm living in reality, not they can hypothetically, you know? So
exactly. It's like I want you to be a wife and like I want to be the husband. And you know, it's not, I don't view you less. It's just that, like, you're good at different things than I'm good at.
Exactly.
And, like, you know, that's why I'm getting married to you. Because, like, I can't, like, I'm not as good at those things.
Yeah, and what they don't realize is, like, oh, cool, she doesn't want to clean your house. Well, I could get a maid to do that, so I don't have a need for you there. Oh, well, you don't want to sleep with me? Well, I can just go sleep with whatever girl I want. Like, you can replace all of that if it doesn't come in one package as a wife that willingly wants to do all of it. You know what I mean? Which is like, if you're not, that's what I mean. Like, if they're not doing what they're supposed to, and I mean this in the best way possible, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, I have no need for you, like, at all. Like, there's abundance in the world, you know?
Yeah.
So I also have to do what I do, you know? Like, I got to do what I'm supposed to do if I'm going to expect that of you. But there's girls that are good. Like, I found a couple, so it's not all rare. Not all hope is lost, but
it is rare. Honestly, like, I came to a point, like, I'm pretty strict with my standards that I have, and but I also realized that, you know, in order to have strict standards, you have to have strict standards for yourself. Like, it goes both ways. Like, it's not just like, oh, I just have high standards. Like, no, like, I have very high standards for myself and what I need to be achieving in my disciplines, and, you know, a decent awareness, not just because of myself, but because of the people around me of where I'm at. And, you know, that also helps you just kind of be aware of, you know, what level you're at and what level you can kind of play to. But
100%.
I know probably like a year and a half ago, I kind of just thought all hope was lost. I was like, man, are there actually like any good women? And it's also because I was not in the right places looking for them. Yeah. So, you know, it didn't help that I was like in Miami, and, you know, I don't think I could find.
You got any at your church? I saw you posted on your stories. I saw a cute blonde in the church story you posted.
Yeah. Most of them are not from Miami. They're like here for like a program that we have for our church. So like, I'm dating a girl right now, but she's not even from the United States. So
big W.
Yeah.
Big W.
Big W.
American girls down bad.
Yeah, 100%.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think like just to like wrap that point up, like, you know, husbands should be really good at being husbands and wives should be really good at being wives.
It's simple, dude. It's very simple. We just got backwards for whatever fucking
It's
reason.
super backward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't stand it. Cool. Moving on from that. Religion and family dynamics. Like how are you gonna raise your kids? What kind of morals and values are you gonna instill into them?
Very like religious principles, like Christian principles, Islamic principles. But they're not going to church, I don't think, unless I found one that I actually liked, which I never have. They're going to be raised the same way I described my faith to you, that they're going to be raised like that. And one thing I really do want to do is, and maybe this is just like a silly idea, but the first time I did mushrooms really opened up my brain, like a lot, and helped me see things from like a different perspective and not as like tunnel vision. So I think when they're of age, they will do that. Like there's the girl I told you that I found that is like awesome, right?
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, shout out to you. All these other girls are gonna be like, oh man.
Is it me? Is it me? No, it's not.
Probably not. If you're in Miami, no way. She did mushrooms with her dad. And her dad's like super cool. Like I've talked to him on the phone a couple times. He's a G. She's the best I've ever found so far. I haven't met her yet because she lives far away. But did mushrooms with her dad, and that kind of made me think. I was like, you know what? Like, I wonder what that would have done for me if I would have done that like sooner. And obviously, like you got to be in the right headspace, use it for the right reason. But like that was the closest I ever felt with God. Was especially like when I did for my birthday, and I was even super drunk when I did that too. But I just felt very, very close to God. It's very easy to have faith and live the right way when you feel it. You know what I mean? When you feel out of touch with God, that's when you like stray away, you know? So probably just like that. Like it's intertwined to everything. Like, oh, you've got to work hard. You've got to pray and expect nothing to be given to you unless you do work hard, even if you do pray.
100%.
Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Like that. Domestic abuse and intervention with that, intervening. How do you think? Like, how do you think it should be handled?
What do you mean? Like a guy beats his wife or something?
Yeah.
I mean, if I could do what if I had a neighbor and that happened, I would shoot the guy. Can I do that? No. You know, so the way it's handled, the court system now is fucked. So like when I was going through this with my mom, the courts fucked us. Like they almost made us homeless. They stuck her with $40,000 of his debt in order for us to keep our house or be homeless. Like this judge looked at us after we told him like, hey, our dad did all these things. It's not a lie. Like we told him ourselves. We had to go to these meetings with him. Judge Deering in Pike County fucking sucked. And we literally told him like, hey, he beat on us. He tortured us. He did all this crazy shit. And the judge was like empathetic of his side and was like, oh, well, just like bullshit, bro. Like, oh, well, your dad feels this way. Like stupid stuff. My dad took mortgages out on our house to buy bass boats to go fish while doing all this and not really working. He worked a little bit, had a job, and then like embezzled money from a store that we owned, like all this crazy shit. And my mom got stuck with $40,000 worth of debt with zero income. And it was either that or you got to give the house up and sell it and split it with your husband. Like that was her option.
Dang.
That's fucked. That's very fucked.
Yeah.
Police removed him from my house when I was 13. And then I had like 15 guns in my house. Bro, I grew up with like a shotgun hanging on my wall that I could just grab and like shoot into the wall if I wanted to. Like I grew up with guns, like it was part of my life.
Yeah.
They removed him from my house. They took all my guns because they were scared he was going to come back and have a gun, you know?
Yeah.
So that night, I remember when they removed him, I don't think I've said this on the podcast. Rest in peace to my we call him Papaw where I'm from, instead of Grandpa. But I remember that happened and he lived right next to us. So we ran like through the woods, to his house. And then my dad came like storming up the driveway, I think in one of his trucks. And then my Papaw was sitting on the porch with a revolver in his coat pocket in his jacket, and was just sitting there waiting for him. And if he came up on the porch, he would have shot him. And I remember he sat there. This is crazy, bro. I haven't told anybody these stories. He sat there. We thought he was going to come back and kill us. Like he was crazy. Like my dad is nuts. Like super, honestly, you want to talk about demons? I very, 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 very strongly believe he had some sort of, I don't know, you call it possession, demons, bad energy, whatever, because he would not let us go to church. When my mom would talk about God, because she was raised very Christian, he would get really mad, like super weird. But he was like nuts, bipolar, whatever. And we thought, or my mom thought, he was going to like try to come back and kill us. So my papaw, this is a testament to what kind of man he was. He stayed up didn't sleep all night on that porch of his house, because we slept in his house that night on the floor. Mm-hmm. He stayed up all night awake, sitting on the porch with a revolver in his coat pocket.
Dang.
Didn't go to sleep. Waited till sun came up, because in case he came back, he's going to kill him. So, I mean, that's a tangent. But how do you handle it? You handle it the way that we should handle things, which is like you be a man about it. Like you want to go beat on somebody, you get your ass beat by the other men around you, right? Or you get shot, or I think we should hang people. Yeah. Like that might sound like an outlandish take, dude. You want to go murder someone and shoot up a school? Okay, cool. Once you're proven that it's done, and obviously you're innocent until proven guilty, I think that's proper. We hang you in front of everybody, or we shoot you with a firing squad, and I guarantee that we're not going to have as much crime as we have. Yeah. And people are not going to go beat their wives. And you're not going to grow up and be like, oh, I think I can do this. No, you're not. Because you just watched somebody get killed in front of you.
Exactly. If we brought back the death penalty everywhere.
Yeah, but the way we do it is so lame. Yeah. You want to do it with painless injection, you just fall asleep?
No, I mean, like, no. Yeah, like death by hanging, death
like
by
you should feel pain.
Electric chair.
If you want to, because like you want to play in that, and I can speak on this because I've seen it, bro. Like especially the domestic abuse stuff. My dad was nuts. Like, did crazy shit to us. Like, crazy, crazy, crazy shit. Like, bro, I would get in trouble. We'll talk about this because I'm sure there's people listening to this that might be going through the same thing. Like, I would do nothing, and we would just get in trouble because he would just, like, pick things to be like, oh, I'm going to just, like, go nuts on you for no reason. Like, a couple punishments. You know what push-up position is? Like, when you do push-ups, but, like, you hold it. He'd make me hold that for hours. And then, like, beat me while I was, like, in that position. Like, shaking. Like, I'm a little kid. I can't hold myself up that long. And then if I would drop, would beat me. And then make me get back in position. Or, like, you know, like, center blocks, like concrete. We live on this big hill. He'd make me stack them, carry them as a kid. Stack them, carry them down a hill, down my giant driveway, stack them at the bottom, do it again. Just no reason. Like, just stupid stuff. Like he'd send me to the basement to get a tool that I didn't know what the fuck it was because I was a little kid. And I would be like, I don't even know what I'm looking for right now. And then I'd get in trouble. Like, just stupid stuff. So, like, if you want to do that to kids, obviously I wasn't big enough to fight back. And there was no other men around to really do anything about it. You should get punished in a very equal manner, in my belief, you know? And I think that would solve a lot of problems. But are we going to do that? No, because everybody's soft. And nobody wants to do that. But that's why you look back at like the old days. I mean, stuff still happened a lot. Like guys beat their wives and crazy stuff happened. But it was a bit more equal because the other men would be like, oh, like you want to do that? Okay. Like we'll take you behind the house and
stone you.
Yeah, we'll beat your ass and then see if you want to do that again, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't think we can do that in today's world, but I mean that's how I would handle it if I ran a town or something.
Yeah. Bring actual punishment back.
Bro, if I ever see my dad again, yeah, he's got it coming 100%.
I already answered this one. What do you want your wife to do and not to do?
Just I'm gonna answer it so short. Just don't be a Miami girl. Like that's it. Like you're not going to go to the club. And bro, obviously when I pick a girl to be my wife, this is not even going to be a worry in my head.
Yeah.
But like just for the sake of discussion,
well, no club. Say it in a way where it's like if you're a Miami girl, you can start to, you know, get on the right path.
Yeah, for all you godless thoughts in Miami listening to my podcast or my clip, if you want to become closer to God and find a husband one day, stop putting your ass on Instagram. That's the easiest thing you could do. Stop posting for male attention online. That's the most unattractive thing ever, like as a guy. Like imagine if I was posting shirtless thirst traps on Instagram. Think a girl would like that? No. But that girl will do the same shit and expect nothing or think nothing's wrong because of societal, like what we're doing right now. Learn to cook, learn to clean, willingly Do nice things for your husband. Be grateful. That was a big thing that my ex was really bad at, was being grateful. Be grateful. It goes a long way. It's not hard.
Yeah.
Just be a nice, gentle, kind person. That's it. Like, it's literally it. You don't got to do anything else. Like, that's it. That is literally how you be a top 1% amazing, beautiful woman. That's it.
I think.
Oh, and don't be a whore, basically.
Yeah, that's a good one. Good addition. We had a talk in church, and I mean, obviously it goes both ways, men and women, but it's like, if you are looking to get in a relationship and you want to get married, act like a wife, not a girlfriend. And like, same with like a guy. Like, if you want to be a husband, act like a husband, not a boyfriend. And there's differences. And it's like, if you're married, are you, like you said, are you going to be posting ass on Instagram? Are you going to be going out to the clubs? Are you going to be, going to random parties with random, no, like, my wife is not going to be doing any of that.
Yeah. And girls will get so offended hearing, like, literally, we're going to clip this up, put you saying that online, and girls are going to lose their mind. And I don't know where that came from or how quickly that went bad. It's not even been that many years.
It hasn't.
Like, in the societal whatever.
Both of the great girls that, right now dating a great girl, used to date a great girl, and first one didn't even have social media at all. This one, like, private account, 300 followers, doesn't even really post. Like,
those are usually the best. And bro, I found some, like, the one I'm talking to now is beautiful. Tristan Tate follows her.
That's sick.
And he just found her, like, by chance, because she only has like 1,000 followers. That's why when I looked at her account for the first time, I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's like, oh no, like, she's been flown out by Tristan, whatever. But no, he tried, and she shut that down. That's great,
And none of the great girls that I found have been on dating apps, have been online, on Instagram. All the great girls I found have been at church.
And they usually have good dads.
Yeah. Yep. Both
good
of them
relationships with their fathers.
And family in general. And respect their family, respect what their family has to say.
Yep.
Even brothers, what their brothers have to say. And, both very feminine, both very respectful, both have great hearts.
That's like to a T. And I'm not saying, like, especially girls that listen to this, we're not demonizing you guys, like, because you don't have dads. Like, I don't have a dad,
Yeah.
But you've got to understand you're more predisposition towards having bad
daddy
traits
issues.
because of that. Like, daddy issues comes from a real that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Because if you've never been loved by a man and that first man wasn't your father, you don't know what to look for in guys.
Correct.
And you're gonna latch onto the first one that
skewed,
gives you any sort of emotion.
You have a skewed view of the attention and love that guys give to you, because most guys are giving you a skewed version
Girls
of love
should
and
hold
attention.
themselves to a higher standard. Bro, these are actually cool girls too, but like the last three girls that I've gone on dates with, and I know I'm going to say this and girls will be like, oh my God, but if you can do it, why can't I do it? Listen, we're not the same. Okay. I can sleep with girls, and even now I'm real. I tweeted this yesterday. I think hookups, men or women, damages your soul 100%.
Yeah.
These were cool girls though. These were not like me just like going to a club and picking them up, whatever. But first date, slept with me. Last 3 girls. They're great girls. They're still super cool, whatever. But I immediately lose all chance.
That's a red flag. If they're willing to do it for you, they're willing to do it for anyone.
And listen, I know I got game, girl, but like, don't sleep with me on the first date. Like, don't. I'm literally telling you this. I'm telling you this right now.
It just shows like a lack of discipline too.
Yeah. Like, if you will let me, I know you've let others in the past.
Correct.
And that means you don't value yourself. Like, that's like one of the most important things that you have about yourself.
Yeah.
You just give it to me like
First
immediately.
day.
Like, bro, no.
Yeah.
No shot.
Unattractive. For sure.
That's like the equivalent of me. Like, if the equivalent of us is providing, that's like I take you on a date and I immediately buy you like a car or a Birkin bag or some shit.
Yeah.
Just not because I'm trying to be nice, but just because I'm trying to be like, oh, like, look what I can do for you.
Exactly.
It's a red flag.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
100%. Yeah. No, that's
We love you women. We want you to be awesome, but we got some
That's
issues.
why we're sharing what we're sharing, because we want you to be awesome. And, we want you to, ultimately, like, the lifestyle, especially the Miami lifestyle, it's a very unfulfilling lifestyle. Like,
it is.
You're going to be 30, 35 years old, maybe 40.
Bro, and that's the sad thing, is that's when they realize and it's too late.
So
too late.
the thing is it's like, I'm not talking about this in, the way that God views us, because obviously God views everyone. We're all created in his image. We're all created with a purpose. I'm talking about the way that society views men and women, right? Men they're not born with value in society's eyes, because they have nothing to offer to the table unless they go and learn skills, and they, in some way, shape, or form, offer value to society. Women have beauty as a commodity right out of the gates. No, maybe not right out of the gates, but like, past 18, whatever, right? Some women are blessed with beauty as a commodity, and they don't have to work for that at all, and they have value in society because of that, but that beauty is going to fade.
Sounds like all these Miami girls.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. They got terrible character and quality and
empty
substance.
Inside. Yeah. No substance. And it's just like, for me, like my first like gauge is like, if I can't even hold like an intelligent conversation with you, it's not worth my time.
Yeah. I can't do it. Learned a lot.
Like, how am I going to converse with you? Like you can't even like talk about anything like, that matters in the world.
Bro, I told a girl, recently, I was like, it's kind of rude, but I think she said something disrespectful, and I was like, okay, whatever. I was like, it's a really good thing you're pretty, because you are not smart at all. And she was just like, still, it didn't even really like click. She was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
But like, and to kind of like close that out, is it's like, when you're, 35, 40, the beauty's going to fade. And when that beauty fades, if you have nothing to you, if you have no substance to you, and you're just like a empty, like, basically like soulless person in society's eyes, you're going to have no value in society's eyes.
Yeah.
And I want to emphasize that, in society's eyes. And it's going to be much harder for you to find someone.
And it's too late.
Especially someone of like real value.
Yeah. Because guys like us are going to be taking those like nice 18 to 24-year-olds
that have substance,
virgins and smart, and going to be good moms, and that's who we're going to have.
Correct. What do you think about women drinking?
I think it's fine. Within moderation. Like if you want like to drink wine whenever, I really don't care. Like, I like wine. But like the girls that go party, like these Miami like college girls I see on TikTok, that's disgusting. They're sick all the time.
Yeah.
Like, they're sick all the time because they're drinking so much.
Mm-hmm.
And their like faces are all fucked up, like from the, how alcohol like changes your face, like the weight and stuff. Like, yeah, that's disgusting. But like, drinking moderation, not at all. Like, I think it's fine.
For sure. Cool. Got a pretty fun category to move into. You excited for sex, dating, and porn?
Oh, God.
We're like slowly turning it up a little bit, and yeah. So this one will be good. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 questions in this one.
Oh, I need a drink.
Yeah. In your view, what is the impact of porn on our society?
Honestly, it's probably top 3 most dangerous things to our entire world. It's bad, bro. It's so bad. You can see, like, especially in like young men's eyes that like watch a lot of it. You can see like they're weaker. They're like this whole I know there's like kind of memes about it, like the whole like no fap and whatever. Bro, if you're jerking off all day to pornography, you are a zombie. Like, your brain is so fried with dopamine. You get more dopamine from that than probably like 20 hours of video games.
Yeah.
From like 10 minutes of you watching a video, whatever. So it's terrible because it kills it's not even about the like the some guys take it too far and they get like super like into it, whatever. It's not even about all that. It's simply, if you're getting that much dopamine from that, do you think your brain's going to want you to do the boring work you have to do to be successful?
So I was going to say, yeah, like you completely ruin any enjoyment that you would get from the process of building something. Because,
which is
like,
the satisfaction. That's what testosterone is for, is it makes effort feel good. That's literally what testosterone does in both men and females' brains. Mm-hmm. Shout out Huberman. Bro, the whole Huberman types meme is stupid because that guy's a G. He's super smart. But anyway, like, bro, you're jerking off all day. Your test is lower. Your dopamine's fried. And it's not productive. And then you don't want to go bang real girls. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think it's a huge issue. I think it's a massive issue. I think with AI coming out, it's going to get even more like like perverted and anything you can think of they can make.
Yeah.
It was just fucked because ladies, you better step your game up because like if you can just get an AI girlfriend and these chicks want to give you problems, like I'm so serious. Sounds like a joke. In 10 years, guys aren't even going to go talk to girls. They're going to have zero desire for it at all. So I think it's a massive problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Robots basically is what it is. We'll be able to satisfy them perfectly because it'll learn exactly
Which
what
is
they like.
disgusting.
Yeah.
It's so gross.
It's awful. Yeah. Sickening to think about, but it's unfortunately most likely going to become a reality because there's money to be made there. And, if there's money to be made, someone's going to capitalize on it.
Yeah, just like those OnlyFans dorks. Yeah.
What do you want to talk about? I got a topic around that too. Cool. Honestly, probably going to skip that one. What do you think about open relationships?
It's dumb if it's on both ends. So here's my thinking. It's hard. It's very hard because I don't know what I truly want yet. I used to just want, and I still want, obviously I still want just a wife. You know what it is? I think I just haven't met a girl that, and I don't mean in a sexual way, but like in a soul way, it could just satisfy me enough to where I was like, oh, I'm happy with this girl. Bro, I dated like one of the hottest chicks I've ever seen anywhere in the world, like of movies, anything. Okay. And obviously that's subjective, but like super hot. She's beautiful. And I still was like, would see chicks walking around the street. I didn't cheat on her ever. I was respectful. I didn't even talk to other girls, but I would see chicks and be like, man, like I want to go talk to that girl. And then I remember asking Ben, I was like, what is wrong with me? I was like, I got the hottest girlfriend ever. And I'm like, still like want to go talk to chicks. And I want to emphasize, I did not cheat on her. Like I saw a TikTok saying I did or something. That's completely false. Like I was very respectful. So now I'm like thinking, I'm like, well, am I going to be happy with like one wife forever? Like from a real, like I'm being a real, like I'm very realistic, right? I'm not like this ideological say what sounds nice. I don't know. Really don't know. I could I'm definitely the kind of guy that could pull it off. Like I could definitely pull it off. Fuck, bro. I wish girls did not watch these. I would say so much more, but these chicks listen to these now. I was going to give you an example. I've like pulled some like Dan Bilzerian shit like as of late. But at the end of the day, it doesn't leave you fulfilled at all. I've also learned that, like I love women, but like it's very unfulfilling. It makes you feel gross, like your soul does not feel clean in a sense. But at the same time, I love women, so it's like I don't know. But I definitely, easy answer though on the women's side, no, that's haram. It's gross. Like no, and every girl, it's like, oh, it's double standard. No, it's not double standard because we're not equal. You sleep with someone, you get attached. If you don't, it's because you slept with too many guys. Like that's if girls want to say, oh no, I don't get attached, it's because you have been ran through by too many guys to where it broke that part of your brain. Like naturally, you're supposed to sleep with a guy if it's your first person you've ever slept with and be attached forever. Like that's how it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. We're not like that. Like, bro, I've slept with a lot of girls. Like I will say that, and I'm not like the kind that goes on brags about that online. Like it's kind of gay, I think, but like a lot. So I have a good opinion. Like we talked about the testimony thing earlier. I can talk about it. And never really got attached in that sense. Like it's like a workout. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So women's side, no. My side, I haven't decided what I want yet. But I'm leaning towards I won't. Like if I find a girl that I really respect, which is the big thing. I didn't respect any of the last ones. If I find a girl I really respect, I don't think I would have the heart to do that to her. So that's going to be my answer.
Cool. Age difference in dating.
Age difference is fine. Like I think if it's 10, it depends how old you are. Like if I'm 25 and I'm dating a 15-year-old, that's fucking weird. If I'm 35 and I'm dating a 25-year-old, that's not weird.
Yeah.
The one girl we use as an example is 18 and I'm 23. It's 5 years difference. So I don't think that's weird at all. Honestly, that's how it should be because like we mature. I'm kind of immature about a lot of things. Like I'm very mature about some, but I just like to have fun and be lighthearted. But like a lot of these chicks are like super like mature and kind of like manly or masculine in their like energy, especially in Miami. Like, the model chicks that you'll see like at dinner and they're just like super mean face and everything. Like, that's gross. Like, why are we doing that?
Yeah.
But those kinds of girls are usually just more mature than the guys their age,
Yeah.
So they always date up, and I think we should date down because we mature later anyway. So I think it's fine.
Yeah, I agree with that. What do you think about the sex education that we have in our schools now?
I think that's what your parents should do. I don't think school should teach you that. But I know they put it into school because parents weren't teaching it. I didn't really learn shit, bro. Ours was like, hey, there's these things called STDs, and like, honestly, I think that's all I remember. So I don't really have an opinion on that. I think that's something your parents should teach you.
This one's going to be a little controversial. It was briefly mentioned earlier. What do you think about LGBTQ plus rights?
Rights?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't believe in that, but I think we shouldn't ban it. And I'm going to say it like this. I don't think that it's hard because like you look in the Middle East, I think they're doing it right. Like in Dubai, I don't think you can get married there and be like homosexual. Can you?
I have no idea.
I know they're very strict. Like
yeah,
when they have events and stuff, like you don't drink and whatever. I respect that a lot. Like they adhere to their religion.
Yeah.
But like in the United States, could we go back and reverse what we've done? No, we couldn't. Like if you and I like this is what I always say. If you want to be gay, go be gay. Will I let my kids? No. Do I want my kids to be? No. Do I have anything against gay people? No, not at all. I've had gay friends. Like I literally had this guy in college. He was gay, friend of mine. I hung out with him. He hung out with us, and because it was very clear, I was like, dude, listen. I was like, don't hit on me, don't do any weird shit. But like if you want to go be gay, that's totally fine with me. I'm not homophobic. You know what I mean? But this is the controversial part. And I know gay people that agree with me. Like Caitlyn Jenner says this. When you start to open up that box, it leads to a lot of bad shit. We legalized gay marriage. And this is where I want to make the distinction. Just because you're gay doesn't mean you're like a bad person in that realm of like all that stuff. But it starts somewhere, right? It's a slippery slope. We legalized gay marriage in 2008, I think. Yeah. Since then, the advancement of all of this perverse, disgusting stuff, pedophilia, there's now 50 genders. There's now all this crazy shit, bro, is now okay.
Yeah.
Because they just threw it under the umbrella of that. And a lot of gay people are mad about that because they're like, yo, I'm just fucking gay. Like, I don't think there's 50 genders and that pedophilia is a sexual preference. Like, I've seen that argument, like, a lot.
Crazy.
I've seen, like, a legitimate argument for that of, like, oh, well, I'm just, that's why I identify. Well, shut the fuck up. Like, we should burn all these people. Like, it's terrible. So, like, if you want to be gay, be gay. Like, if I had to make the law, sure. You want to be gay, go be gay. Because I'm not going to be able to govern it anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the way I raise my people that I am in control of, I don't control others. I control my people. No, that's not something I want to happen. But like I said, I want freedom of choice for people. So if you want to, go do it. But we're going to stop the line there. There's no multiple genders. There's no bullshit. There's no pedophilia. You should die if you are a pedophile. Like, you know what I mean? So I think it's my most complete answer.
That was good. What do you think about living together before marriage?
Is this a controversial thing?
I would say to a degree.
I'm definitely living with my wife before we get married. Bro, why would you not? Like, you got to test drive, like, living together before you live together. Imagine if they just suck to live with and you didn't know.
Yeah.
That's terrible. So, yeah, like, I didn't know that was controversial.
I would say that in the Christian community.
Oh, yeah, you get a little homeschool Christian boy.
Yeah.
See, like, I didn't grow up like that, so, like, I didn't think that was even a thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to. Yeah. What do you think?
I'm personally not going to.
You're not going to live with them before you're married?
No.
Wow.
Like, I think I see where you're coming from, where it's like you got to see, like, can you live with them and not go insane? But I think if it's the right person, like, you'll know. 'Cause, like, like if you, I think it comes down to like conflict resolution at the end of the day, because it's like why would you, if you're both unconditionally loving each other and like trying to serve each other and each other's needs, and just again like unconditionally love each other, then living together is not going to be an issue at all, because you both have that kind of moral compass where it's like, yeah, like we just, we don't go to bed angry at each other, like no matter what, like, if there's something, like we get through it. I know that above all, like I'm serving you and your needs, and you're serving me and my needs, and like we're not keeping records of what I've done for you and what you've done for me. Like it's just like I'm married to you, and before marriage, it's like I'm serving you, and I'm doing what a husband should do, and you're doing what a wife should do. So that's how I
can
do
see
it.
that. I don't necessarily disagree. Just personal preference, I will. But that makes a lot of sense. Like 100%. Especially because I can see how that would definitely help you like not have sex before marriage. If that's a goal of yours, because living with a person, that's just like a lot of temptation, which is probably where that's rooted in.
Exactly.
So I can see that 100%.
Yeah, that's mostly what it is. Yeah. Sex work and its legality. Talk about OnlyFans girls. Talk about, yeah. I know you've had a lot of opinions on this on Twitter, which I think are all great takes. So I want you to expand on it more.
Bro, OnlyFans is disgusting. It's so gross. Like the fact that, and I mean, I get it. Like, especially from the women's point of view, I get it. Like, you don't want to depend on a man because, like, imagine you're a girl and you're raised, like, backwards of how you should be. That's probably what you're going to do. Like, you're pretty. It's probably what you're going to do. Does it make it right? No. But I mean, I get why they do it. But it's a problem, bro. It's a problem. But then you can say, like, oh, no, it's the people that buy the content. There's a marketplace for the content, so it's created. Well, yeah, but, like, there's a lot of fucked up people in the world.
Yeah.
So, like...
Still enabling.
Yeah, but, like, there's nothing we can do about either of those people, Yeah. So, I think
the creator and the consumer in both. It's an issue with it.
It's always going to be there. They'll always get access to it. You know what I mean? It's 100%. Like the gun thing. Like, oh, cool, you make guns illegal. You think criminals have been following gun laws anyway? Like, exactly. No. So, I mean, it's very haram. It's disgusting. It's vile. But I can't do anything about it. Just raise my people the right way.
For sure. What do you think about, like, arranged marriages, consent, the age of legal consent? What is your...
I mean, that stuff's pretty fine. I mean, it's pretty fine to me. I don't really have an opinion on that. Like, age of consent is different in each state. And in Europe, it's different, I think. Which I think is a fine age because, like, any younger than that... Bro, when I was, like, 15 years old, I was, like, a child, Yeah. So, like, that I can't even... That's kind of weird. I think it's all fine. I know my boy Zarek is maybe getting an arranged marriage at some point. I saw him posting about it, but that's because he's like Middle Eastern or some shit. I don't know. I'm definitely not getting an arranged marriage, but I'm going to 100% hopefully have a good relationship with her father and ask for his permission, kind of thing.
For sure.
So that's what I got on that.
Cool. That wraps up that category. Jump into the next. I'm gonna go grab a drink. And
get you one. That wasn't too controversial.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I'm realizing that like these I need to go like we'll run another one back and I'll go like more niche down. Like these are now all of these would be good like categories and like make questions within these.
We can do a ton.
Yeah, so which is good because then that just gives us even more topics. So these are all like general, and it's good because like I get to know you and your story and like what you're comfortable with a little bit more.
I'm comfortable with anything.
So,
and if I'm not, I'll just be like, well.
Yeah, I'll skip over that.
Skip it, whatever.
Yeah. So it's good. Like these are all like good general stuff, and then I'll narrow all of these down even more. So, but we got some good ones coming in the history section. So I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick and then we'll rip it. Let's cover some history. What do you think the legitimacy of historical memory, like history being altered?
It's definitely altered. History goes to those who are victorious. which is how it should be. Like you win, you dictate what happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's all fake. Like I don't believe in history too much. I think it holds its weight in stories of people, but its weight as in like other stuff is just wrong because one, you have no way to know what was altered, what was not altered, unless there's a lot of different accounts. Like the Bible, pretty sure the Bible's accurate because there's like 60 billion references to it in itself and other literature of all kinds of, in all kinds of time periods,
Yeah.
So, yeah, history goes to the victor.
And then history repeating itself. How have you seen that happen in your own lifetime?
It's happening. It's happening right now.
Describe like how you see it happening.
What order did the Prohibition and the Roaring 20s happen? Prohibition was the same year as women getting the right to vote, right? 1919?
I don't know the exact date.
I feel like we're literally about to do the same thing because then you had the Great Crash and the Great Depression in 1930. We're like kind of following the same trend. We're getting very degenerate as a society, very comfortable, very loose. Now what do we need and what's about to happen? Probably the economy crash, probably World War III.
Yeah.
So is that history repeating itself? Probably, but history always repeats itself because this world is finite. And if you believe in God, you kind of believe this is a simulation of sorts, It's real to us, but why does that mean it's real in the big picture of things, And I think there's only so many different possibilities of things that could happen in any given realm. Like there has to be, right? If there's physics and math and whatever, it's only so many. So does it repeat? Probably, because if you only have a set base of things that can happen, they all got to happen again when the other ones don't happen. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So, yeah, I think it definitely repeats itself.
What do you think about the moon landing?
Fake.
Yeah, same.
So fake. like you can see it. It's fake. Like it's so fake. I think we faked it to just like claim in the little space race like all of it we won.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fake.
Yeah, and like also, I think it could have been used as like a distraction too, for other things that were happening because like that's maybe we did need to develop technology to get to space or launch things into space, and that was used to like cover it up and used to like here's what we can do to entertain the media with it. Like again,
like the UFO thing that just happened a week ago.
I don't even know what that was.
The news was like, oh, there's 3 UFOs. There's a balloon. There's another balloon. There's this actual UFO that we shot down, but they didn't recover any of it, and there's no photo evidence of it.
Yeah,
and it's right at the same time that the Nord Stream pipeline gets blown up and revealed that it's blown up by the U.S., which is what pumps natural gas into all of Europe, and we blew it up.
That's convenient.
Yeah, really convenient.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just like led to, again, it goes back to like anything that's really, really pushed to us, I'm just led to believe is not all the way true.
That's a good way to think.
And that's like literally everything. Like, oh, like this is going to sound dumb, but like water bottles, like plastic water, like, produce billions of plastic water bottles produced, like pushed to us. Like, we're the only country that is allowed to advertise medicine on TV. Like, okay, bad. Like anything that's, again, like just pushed to us in large quantities across all of media, like I look at it, I'm like, bad. So
it's a good way to think. Very good way to think.
But that's just me. Okay, yeah, moon landing's fake. 9/11.
Fake. But not fake.
Yeah, not
done by who they say it was done by.
Set up, but not fake.
It happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I saw people saying it was CGI and stuff. No, I think it's very plausible you can crash a plane into a building.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're the CIA. Like, bro, they do crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Did it happen? Yeah. Does simple physics just suddenly change that day? No. Okay, you have a skyscraper. How are skyscrapers constructed? Well, it's massive steel beams that are drilled into the ground and then just like built up and up and up until you have a strong structure that withstands wind. Wind is way stronger than an airplane hitting a building. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like if I hit the top of a building with an airplane, and then it just implodes on itself.
Yeah, and pancake
makes
collapses.
no sense.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. So, was it done? Yeah. Did we do it to ourselves? Yeah.
Yeah. And conveniently, $1 trillion went missing in the Pentagon a day before.
And did you know, you probably already know this, the guy who owned the Twin Towers, like literally like a day or a week before, took out an insurance policy against terrorism. Day before.
That's so convenient.
Yeah. And a third tower fell that was on the news, but it was scrubbed from the internet afterwards, but some people still have the footage. A third tower fell, but it was like a much smaller building. Just imploded on itself. Nothing hit it. Just imploded. Yeah.
Yeah, and covered up by the larger, Twin Towers that
Like
were
if you really, really think, like if you watch footage of, which I did because I was into the military, like when we're fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan, it's just a bunch of people in fucking cloth clothes running around with AKs. That's all they are. And then they made IEDs, but like that's about as far as their tech went. RPGs, that's about all they got. You want to tell me that those people somehow got to the U.S. We knew they got to the U.S. They publicly have said that before. They were tracked.
Yeah.
But then we just let them get on a plane, and then they just know how to fly a plane, and they hijack a plane, and they just crash it into these towers. Like, bro, you could write a movie better than that. Like,
Yeah.
Come on.
Exactly.
Like George Bush and Bin Laden worked together in the CIA in like the 80s. Like this is like proof. Like there's picture. Like it's proof.
I've also seen like a bunch of like references to 9/11. Like I think it was like Simpsons, like old Spider-Man.
Have you seen the painting from Epstein's house?
No. Potentially. I
We
saw
gotta
like, a bunch
throw
of, like,
this up
graphics.
if you edit this. There's a picture of George Bush, like George W. Bush, like 2003 or 7 or whatever year he was, with 2 Jenga towers.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
With paper airplane. It was
Yeah.
hanging in like Epstein's office in his house
And that was before 9/11,
on
right?
the island. No, it was after.
Oh.
Like recently they got it.
Yeah. Bro,
it was
they
a joke.
hide it in plain sight.
Yeah, it was a joke.
Yeah.
Like he literally has paper. He's sitting on the ground like a little kid with his legs crisscross applesauce. His little paper airplane
2
in
Jenga
the
towers.
painting, and he like knocks one of the towers down with the paper airplane. Legit painting, like
That's
in his
crazy.
office.
Bro, and there's a lot to this too, where I forget what it's called, but it's like this like karma system with like the higher up, like the elite and everything, where they believe,
The karma.
I don't know what
It's
it's
karmic
called.
law. So
Yeah, so like they believe if they like
in
tell
their belief,
you,
they have to make it known, or else there's no point. Because if you're just doing it behind people's backs, then you're just evil.
Yeah,
But if you're doing it like out in public, or you're
telling people, oh, I'm doing this before you do it, or then it's like, oh, well, then it's not bad because I told you that I was doing it, you just didn't listen.
Which is like I don't know why it's a thing, but it's what they believe.
It's wild.
So yeah, I mean everything's in plain sight.
Yeah,
Like everything's in plain sight. And people are just like dumb.
yeah, basically. What made the U.S. great, and what will make it fall?
Obviously us. What made the U.S. great was I'm not going to give a history lesson, but like just in recent times, like U.S. was pretty great in like, honestly, like the 80s, 90s, even 2000s, and then it started to go downhill. But it really went downhill when we got off Federal Reserve because then we could just play with money how we wanted.
Yeah.
And then going from there, you can see the government start to step in when they kill Kennedy because he wanted to disband the Federal Reserve, so CIA shot him. And then it's basically been puppet show since then. But what made it great was you have this place that's free, quote unquote free, and it urged and encouraged capitalism. The tax code encouraged it. It encouraged growth and building of big things. That's why we ran the world. Like Apple runs the world, and its product we founded here.
Yeah.
Google, Microsoft, like all these companies are founded here. And it's because it's the most conducive to success for business. But what's going to make it fall is over-regulation. Those people are going to be discouraged from being here because of taxes eventually. Controlling of the people, lack of freedom. Same reason California is falling. It's the same reason that the U.S. is going to fall. Like you can only destroy something like that from within, and it's already happened, I think. Just like Rome. Like what made Rome fall? The greatest military the planet had ever seen. Well, they did.
Yeah.
So same
They're
thing's
there,
happening
bro.
with us.
100%. History repeating itself.
Exactly.
All right, so I want to talk about when you were a kid, probably between the age of like 10 and 18. That's probably, I mean, yeah, you probably got shaped before that as well into who you are today. But I'm assuming a lot of the shaping and a lot of your memories probably were within that.
Yeah,
kind of
100%.
range.
I don't even remember like being a young kid other than just like normal shit.
Yeah. So, what, like, did you ever have peer pressure? Did that play a role into your background, into some of the decisions you've made today?
No, not at all. My school was very like antisocial of each other, and they did not really fuck with me. One, I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a nice house. I didn't have a car. So, like, I didn't really get invited to shit because, like, how are you going to talk to me? Like, they couldn't, you know? So I wasn't, like, hanging out with people like a lot of people do in high school, and you got, like, all these stories. I didn't do that, bro. I was just worried about, like, survival. So no peer pressure at all.
Were you the bully, or did you get bullied?
So I got bullied when I was younger, and then I beat the shit out of a couple kids, and then it stopped. And then people would fuck with me in high school, but it was just, like, sort of, like, verbal, like kind of the kind of shit that like I feel like it comes from a place of like you make them feel insecure. Like I was talking with him, I'd talk about stocks or something, and kids would just like try to make fun of me. But those same kids are now like at home with their parents, miserable, poor, fat. So it's like, who won? I don't really care, you know?
Yeah, for sure. You said you didn't have a phone, so like navigating social media didn't really have no impact there.
No.
Time management, was that a thing?
No. like all the problems that people have, I didn't really have because I mean I had like quote unquote worse problems, I guess you could say.
Talk about some of those problems. What was like
well, I mean like getting beat on and like being poor is a problem in itself, you know. No money, no car, like can't go do things, can't go anywhere, got to worry about this and that and whatever.
What were like when you were say 15 years old, what did you worry about the most? Like, was it, that you would have your next meal?
So we always had food. I will say that. My mom did a really good job. There were nights she went hungry, but I never went hungry. I think I maybe went hungry once. And I don't think it was because of, like, we didn't have food. I think it was because my dad was just being, like, evil that night and was like, no dinner for you, like, go to bed kind of thing. So my mom did an amazing job with that. But it was money. It was like, oh, I can't get clothes for school. Or I can't, which I started to then like work, so I would have a little bit, but like I couldn't get a phone, I couldn't get this, I couldn't get that, couldn't get a car. Kids would do things, I couldn't do things. I'm trying to think what else. Because now it seems like it was very like sort of tunnel vision on my problems, but then it was like, oh, my world is fucked. It's money, bro. Money is a lot of different problems in one. You know what I mean? But you can call it money.
What would you say? What's like one of your scariest stories that you had when you were a kid?
Oh God, bro. That's a hell of a question. There's a lot. They all involve my dad for the most part. But the funny thing, like you say, scary, but now like none of it seems scary. When you're a little kid, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, no, but that's why I'm like I am, is because I'm like, oh, like that was like normal, you know. Like I remember one time, I think I was scared of the dark. I was probably like 6 years old when this happened, and I thought I saw something in my room. You know, when you're a little kid and you like see something in your room, you're like, oh, it's a thing. Mm-hmm. And I think I told my dad, and his way of like teaching you things was like putting you through it, like literally. So he took me outside. I live in the woods on this big hill, like scary woods, like big, like whatever you want to call it. And I'm in my underwear. I'm a little kid. And he made me run up the hill in the dark in like the middle of the night and was like screaming the boogeyman was going to get me, like screaming, like scaring the fuck out of me. And I'm a little kid. And if I wouldn't go, he would like hit me. So I'm like imagine you're a little kid and you think that monsters are real. Yeah. And you're forced to run up a hill in the dark in the woods. And it's like cold outside, and then your dad is like screaming just scary shit at you like while it's happening. That was really scary. Now it's kind of like comical, which is kind of fucked up, I think. That's probably not healthy, but at the time, yeah, that was scary. trying to think, bro, there's so many different occasions or whatever. It had a weird way of teaching me things, which now I'm kind of like thankful for it in a weird way. Not that it's okay, but like, you know, if you go through crazy shit and it makes you better, you're like, oh, I'm glad I went through that now. But then no. Like I remember, like we were hunting all the time. I shot a frog with like a BB gun one time when I was a little kid, and it didn't die. And instead of him being like, hey, like you need to respect life, put it out of its misery, like shoot it again or whatever, or stab it, he made me smash it with a rock and another rock as a child. That one fucked with my head when I was little. I still remember that, because when you're a little kid, you can shoot something and pull a trigger, like it's easy. But like to smash something with a rock, like even if it's a frog, like you're a little kid, you've never interacted with death. Yeah. That one fucked with me a little bit. I remember that. There's a lot, bro. I could list. I threw a ball one time. I was responsible for one of my dogs dying when I was little. We had terrible luck with black labs. We had 3. They all died horrific deaths. We lived on this hill, and I was throwing a ball with my brother, and it bounced in the road. He ran out into the road and got hit by a van. And you know, dogs will scream and yell. And I remember that sound. That was terrible. But we're crying. Like I just watched my dog die in front of me, like literally right in front of me. So we're crying, and then I remember my dad was like screaming at us because we were crying, like saying we were weak and stuff, like sort of just like kind of terrorizing us even more, as like like suck it up kind of thing. There's a lot. There's a fucking lot. I'm sure people don't want to just hear like. I mean, I don't know if people, Presley, you think people want to hear this?
Dude, that made me like stop. I was like, damn, like that's.
See?
That's raw though. That's raw. Not many people are admitting shit like that. I've never even heard you say any stuff on a podcast before. It's like
No, I haven't. Because it, bro, like it turns into, at least in my mind, because I'm so like be a man about it, it turns into my mind of like, oh, like he sounds like he's like looking for pity, or he sounds sad. Like I don't want to sound like that. Like it is what it is, bro. Just continue, you know? But it's also kind of fucked up, because now when actual bad stuff happens, I'm very good and under stress, but I also don't have empathy towards other people, because then I'm like, bro, it's not that bad when it is bad, which is a problem. And I've been like recognizing that a little bit. What else crazy shit happened? I mean, scary is a different word than like being like terrorized, like, because scary is like, oh, there's monsters under my bed. Being terrorized is like, oh, I think I'm gonna die. A lot of crazy shit. I pointed a gun down a hallway one time to shoot my dad when I was a little kid. He was like hitting my mom. I remember I woke up, he was like fighting with my mom. My mom, when I say fighting with, my mom never was fighting. My mom never hit this man, never laid a hand on this guy, because she's little. She's the sweetest woman ever. So I don't want people to think it's like my mom arguing with him and then he gets mad. No. It was him like just abusing her for no reason. And I remember I woke up. You remember I said I had the gun rack on my wall? They're always loaded. I had a 22, I had a 410, and I think I had a 12 gauge. And I had this long hallway back to my bedroom, and then the living room, and then the kitchen. So it's like kind of winding back to the bedrooms. So it's long, like dark hallway. And I remember I was like a little kid, probably 8. I feel like 8 years old or something, because I had my bunk bed still. And I was like, fuck this. Like in my head, I was like, I've had enough of this shit. It's like, I'm going to shoot him. And then we're not going to have to worry about it anymore. Like as a little kid. And I got the gun off the wall and I pointed it down the hallway. And then I got so scared, because I was like, what if I hit my mom? What if I hit him and I don't kill him? He's actually going to kill all of us. Like 100% would have killed us. So I was like, I got way too scared. I was like shaking, put the gun back, went to bed, cried. It's a lot. The last day, this one was this probably is scariest. This is number 1, and then we'll end with this, because I don't want to like make this a fucking everyone's sad at Luke podcast. Okay, someone like that, if you fight back against someone like that, it makes them more mad. It's like the Hulk. Like, I'm dealing with the Hulk, okay? I hit the Hulk, cool. Now he wants to, like, rip your arm off. You know what I mean? So the day that police removed him from our house, I was in our basement. It wasn't an attached basement. It was like you had to walk outside down this muddy hill, and it was, like, gross. There was, like, water in the basement all the time and stuff. But we kept, like, tools in there, because we're rednecks, bro. Like, of course you got tools and random shit in your garage. I don't remember what was happening. I think he was trying to make me like organize tools, and I did something wrong, and he like pinned me. I was like 13 at this point, or 14, and I was a little bit bigger. I was still little. Like now I'm pretty big. Then I was tiny, bro. I was like 120, if that. So I was little.
Yeah.
And he pinned me up against this wall, this concrete wall, and was like choking me. Not like this, but like forearm like into me, like pressing me hard. And I like something was different that day. I was like, I've had a fuck enough of this shit, because it had been really bad lately. I was like, I'm done. Like I'm so done. And I hit him. And like I literally, like, my hands are at my sides, and I hit him. And I remember I hit him in the face, and obviously I'm not gonna knock him out or something. I'm like his little kid, bro. Oh my God. I could, like, if I could draw with like AI what's in my brain, swear to God, I saw like the devil. Like, it was the scariest shit. Now, like, obviously I'd be fine. I'm a grown man. I could beat his ass. But then I was like, I'm going to die. Like, I was 100% sure. I was like, he's going to kill me, because he still has me. I just hit him. Like, I've never hit him before, ever. Because you knew, like, bro, someone's way bigger than you. My dad was, I think, like 6 foot 250. I think.
Damn.
Like, he's a pretty big guy, like big shoulders. And I was like, fuck. I was like, I'm laughing now, but I'm like, I'm so fucked. And it was like the scariest look. And he kind of froze, and I ran up. That's how it happened. So my mom had heard all this happening, and I ran upstairs, and he stayed. I don't know. I think he was kind of stunned. He was like, did he just hit me, kind of thing? Because I could never had done that. I'm his oldest son. Yeah. When you have like an abusive dad and you're the oldest son, there's this really weird dynamic where you usually get the worst of everything for whatever reason. I think it's because you're the closest to them, and it makes them feel like a certain type of way. So he paused. I don't remember anything after that other than like us running through the woods or driving to get to my papa's, like I told you earlier. But yeah, that was fucked. That was really fucked. I can still like see his like if I drew it, it was like this, like a square, like his eyes and his like eyebrows, just like furious. And then we ran upstairs, and then we like got the fuck out of the house, because I was like, he's gonna kill us. And my mom knew. Like, moms just know. My mom knew. She's like, we gotta go. Yeah. So we got out. So probably scariest.
Yeah, that's wild. That's super wild. I know for me, like, I've never experienced something like that. I've never been in like a street fight or anything like that. Like both my parents are like decently trained in in fighting. And my dad always tell me, he's like he would always like mess with me, and like we would always like wrestle, and like it wasn't like, oh, like no fighting. It was just like we would wrestle. He would always, put me in like wrist locks and finger locks, headlocks, and like, respectful about it, like had boundaries, like it wasn't like abuse or anything. Yeah. It was just like, we were messing around, like, I'm a guy, and like, just roughhousing. Yeah. But he would always like, and he would like teach me stuff as well. Like, he would do something to me, and then he'd like teach me how like he did it, which was cool. But he would always say, he's like, the best block is don't be there. Like the best block is don't be there.
Run, get away.
Yeah. So I think like I always like took that to heart. So it was like whenever like there was like an opportunity to get in a fight, I was just like, yeah, it's just like
smarter not to.
It. Yeah. And like he would always tell me, he's like, his like instructors, like they would be like from like another country or whatever, like see this like pretty face, like it's pretty face because I don't get hit, like because I'm not like in like the fight like that, or like because the best block is not being there, like I'm not in the fight and getting punched in the face. Yeah. And so I always like thought of that. I was like, man, like I don't want my face to be like messed up. So like I've always like just taken that to heart. Like if I have the opportunity, like if there's gonna be a fight and I have the opportunity to not be in it, like I'm always taking the opportunity to not be in it, and like run from it or just not be present part of it. So
that's the best idea, bro. 100% is the best idea. Fighting, man, I feel like fighting is
it's good to know, but like it's one of those things where it's like you want to have it and not need it.
It takes one knife slash, exactly, or one gunshot, and you're fucked. Exactly. No matter how well you fight. So 100%.
Yeah. Cool. Do you have anything else that you want to add? We've been going for about 2 hours.
Not really. We'll definitely do more, but I don't have anything we want to add unless you have like an ending question.
I I mean, I have a bunch of questions, so we'll just save it for another pod.
We can do that.
Cool. Good
Thank you, bro.
stuff. Absolutely.